10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. Radiant's ban. 10 seconds to go. 5 Radiant's ban. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds. 'Dire's ban.
How about that? There we go. Hello. Okay, sorry about the delay. My microphone decided to not be connected. We're back with some We Like Dota League action. It's week 5 of the group stage. This is a Scepter Division matchup, which means this is the final week of the group stage as far as the round robin goes. For this division, because there are 6 teams in the division, so each team is going to play 5 matches. This matchup is between Putting the R in RD2L versus Last Hit Hitters. I'll flip back over to the bracket for a moment so you can see this is currently the 2nd and 3rd place team. So could be vying for that who locks up the number 2 seed here. Putting the R in RD2L, if they can 2-0 this series, they might be able to steal the number 1 slot back from Mudboys, who beat them in 2-0 fashion last week's stage matchup.
Radiant's pick.
We are pretty far into the draft already. We have the Shadow Fiend getting picked up by RD2. That has been their most picked hero. It was pretty much the definitive best carry of Dream League 28 that just wrapped up today. So that's been a big one to look out for. They banned out the Largo, which has been Last Hidden Joyer's most picked hero. Their hero pool has been pretty diverse. The Largo, alongside Weaver, are the only heroes that they've picked more than twice so far. Obviously not a huge sample size of only games, but compare that to the 5 games RD2L Shadow Fiend. Definitely a little bit of a pattern there. Like I said, a pretty big hero.
Dire's pick.
They choose to go for the Underlord to open up against the Shadow Fiend. Then RD2L immediately responding to that with Rubik. Classic counter pick because Firestorm deals 10 HP damage, Underlord has a lot of HP, so Firestorm is very good himself. Dark Willow picked up by Last Hidden Joyers. Now the Ogre Magi are most RD2. Not a support we've been seeing a ton of, but just a good reliable stun, good frontliner to pair in lane with Shadow Fiend. Tells us that the Rubik will definitely position 4, most likely, or I believe RD2L has played a Rubik. Last Enjoyers are going to pick up a Life Stealer. A little, I guess now with the Ogre, like he chunks through the Ogre. I feel like usually you see Life Stealer more in very
10 seconds to go.
As a counter to very beefy lineups, which RD2L isn't exactly showing so far. Like an Ogre support is tanky for a support, but he's still not that tanky. I'm not sure how I feel about the carry to carry matchup with the Shadow Fiend. Assuming the Shadow Fiend is carry, there's also a pivot that's mid. I think now seeing the Lifestealer, I prefer it as a carry though. I think a like Desolator buying back damage Shadow Fiend is gonna do better against a Lifestealer than a magic damage blow up kind of build in Shadow. Snapfire gonna get taken by last support we haven't seen too much of. Definitely still, I think, like, still a good spot for, you've got a good amount of control between the Underlord and Dark Willow, which is going to set up her ult to work pretty well. I'd say with, like, a Mars, or, like, some big, like, single target lockdown can be a really good pairing for her. But I think should still function pretty well, and obviously at this rank, like, these are two of the higher ranked teams in the league, but still, like, comfort is part of what dictates what's going to be better for a team. Also on the more durable side, which I think is good, there's so much magic damage. Like, I think that's why the Lifestealer comes out. Shadow Fiend's pretty mixed damage. I think he's going to go a more physical damage build. Rubik and Ogre Magi are quite high magic damage supports. I think that's why we see Lifestealer picked up. Beastmaster going to round out this phase for RD2L. Another hero we saw getting flexed across all three core roles in Dream League over the past couple weeks. Yeah, mostly played in the mid lane, I think, a little bit of off lane, and then a couple teams. I think it was mostly Extreme that was also flexing it and seeing some success with it there, which is the Outworld Destroyer banned out. I feel like that guy eats so many bans. Like not really being in the meta is just a hero that, like, you know, somebody in WLDL is gonna bust out as an overall last pick and just like ruin your lane. Kind of very similar to a Huskar ban, which I wouldn't be surprised to see here either. Like sometimes it doesn't matter how good it looks in the particular game. It's just like don't ruin my mid lane. Please just pick a normal mid laner where I can have a normal and play the game normal. Sniper banned out, kind of a similar type of ban.
10 seconds ban. To go. 5 seconds.
Lust Enjoyers also did have to pull in a last minute sub. That was why we started a little late into the stream. Jimmy Pesto subbing in for them. Apparently has some history with player on RD2L, so that should be a fun thing to watch out for. Curious to see how they slotted to the chemistry. Necropose is another hero that's just like don't do something toxic to me in the mid. I think most likely both sides looking for their mid laner. I think even though Beastmaster was seeing more play as a mid laner in the pro games, there's probably more offlane players that are comfortable with him, so you're more likely to see him there. I don't know how the lane against Lifestealer goes. Probably pretty well. I feel like the axes can stack up some good damage against him, though once he gets a level in rate, I think that helps a bit. I forget if that spells the stacks of the axes. Enchantress ban.
10 seconds to go.
So respecting the possibility of the mid Rubik, which I think is a good thing to consider. They did play one Enchantress game, so RD2. So Last Enjoyers maybe just identifying the Enchantress is like the most annoying pick right here. It's going to be a Void Spirit, most likely going to the mid lane. This is a hero we've been seeing a lot more at the pro level as well. I feel like I've seen a support Void Spirit from RD2L before. So I'm not fully ruling out the possibility that it's a mid Rubik, but I'd say most straightforward draft here, obviously. Mid-void support. But I think it could depend on how Last Hit Enjoyers view the matchup they get here. It is just the Huskar. They're just gonna Huskar them. I think now you put the Rubik mid, right? I think this is part of the idea, because Void Spirit, a Huskar lane is unplayable. But I like the Lizard Snap set. That was one, I forget what pressure that was in, but that one did to pick up whatever. I haven't been getting as many. I already have good sets every hero that I do. I remember, I think, I'm pretty sure Claire plays mid. I think they are just gonna suffer through the Huskar lane. You definitely can. Like, I remember seeing at least one Dream game. I think it was Void. Might have been a Storms. Ooh, audio is cutting in and out a little. Let me look at that. You're letting me. I might just need to speak up a little bit, but I'll see if I can make it a little more generous to me. Alright, let me know if that sounds better. I think that should put a little bit of a better threshold on it. And as we get into the excitement of the game, I'll probably be a little bit louder, and hopefully that'll help as well. Alright, Hats draft, the Shadow Fiend set. Pretty nice combo of some of the newer cosmetics. I think that's... I forget if that's the one from the Borderos, or if that's part of the Arcana, and then I know that's from Collector's Cache.
Places, everyone.
Go to audio a little. I have not been casting enough games this year. It's been a super busy year for me. Look at the smoke. The smoke's going to break walking up the high ground. They're going to walk right up anyway. Firebrock leading the way immediately into the Void Remnant, and Pocket is going to pick up First Blood, killing off the Huskar. That is going to put a little bit of a damper on the threat of the Huskar lane. I am surprised with the way the smoke broke. Like, RD2L was just sitting directly on that high ground with 5 heroes, Remnant at the ready, and Last Enjoyers walked right on up anyway. See if they can get some return kills here. Viper one going in, but immediately getting low. Remnant again kills off the Lifestealer. Rubik does go down as well. Pocket now falling a little bit low. It was a second kill for the Shadow Fiend, so would love to hang on that extra starting gold and avoid going down here. They're going to turn over towards Jet Fuel Can't Melt Steel memes, but it looks like the Ogre will be able to walk away.
And they're off.
Alright, 2 Bounty Runes picked up by the Dire. Claire will pick up one over in the mid lane. Is going to have to contend with Pointicus a little bit here, and Firerock is here. Claire is going to die before the first wave. Remnant not quite enough to pull them into the Bramble, so now it's going to be a little troublesome as the kills get evened up. Catsby denies the 4th Bounty Rune, presumably with a boar. Okay, so they're actually going to have Pocket cover the mid lane. Oh, this is interesting. This is not the flex that I expected. I forgot that this was something we've seen before. I wonder if this is just because of how the early kills went, or if this was the plan all along. I'd have to go back and check how much Claire and Pocket have played in. But I think this is way better for putting the RD2L laning stage. Shadow Fiend can definitely actually handle this lane against the Huskar, getting lots of Burning Spheres thrown at him, and like Void Spirit, especially after that death, right as the lanes were starting, like, Void Spirit would have absolutely no chance against the Huskar. Definitely going to be one we have to watch out for. Top lane as well. Beastmaster Rubik can definitely be looking to get some kills. Got some tanky heroes to contend with. Action. Down bot. You got the big circles lane between the Underlord and the Dark Willow. Tons of roots to watch out for. Got some good durability in the Ogre. And once Claire gets a level in Dissimulate, which probably won't be highly prioritized, but at least gives them a way to dodge through some of the roots and AoE stuff. Bit of pause. Mouse, real mouse, as in like not their computer mouse, but there is a actual mouse in their house. I'm crazy for starting items. The full wand early on Pocket into a Huskar doesn't feel that worth it. Maybe maybe Pocket was going to go carry, and like Claire dying there was just like, okay, you take mid. I can't make it happen. Because you know you're laning into the Huskar, and Huskar does not cast them. Maybe I'm underestimating how often Berserker's Blood gets cast. Flaming Sphere is getting thrown out here. Bottle as well now. Like a wand bottle? I mean, sometimes you do. Maybe that's part of the plan of surviving. Claire has very, like, normal starting items for safe lane. So, hard to say based on that. Ooh, 2 raises. Fire Brock. Putting on the long range. No, that's the close range. Not gonna lane. It's pretty stable here. Claire is off to a pretty good start. And pretty even in the mid lane, which is always important against a Huskar. Like, if you come out even in the lanes against a Huskar, you're already setting your game up much better. Huskar does still have a lot of early power, like, going to be looking to make some early rotations. And that's where they can really start to snowball the game, but it is very much a snowballing game plan. I think the other thing in that regard we're going to be wanting to look out for is the Agnim's timing on Catsby. Because Beastmaster is also a big early game timing hero. And being able to fight around that Aghanim is going to be like an interesting timing matchup with how that lines up. Lane, Huskar, and Pocket getting a little low. Pocket looking for the raise, but is going to tick out and burn down to the spear. So here is where the Huskar effect starts to come into play. Now getting a pretty decent lead over Pocket's Shadow Fiend. Now we're definitely going to look to see Fire Brock making some rotations once they hit 6. I still think, though, like, if this was a last-minute lane swap, 100% the right decision. This is not going miserably a Huskar lane. Just, like, this is a normal losing the lane. Have to play it carefully here. Can't take another death. Gotta respect the Huskar and all of those flaming spears coming. Mid lane, Vikramon's sitting very low. I should have jumped up here a little sooner. Like, will be okay. Healing up on some tangos. Should be able to get some creeps to feast on. Only at only 9 last hits, so they've actually been... I haven't been paying enough attention. They have been bullying the crap out of this Lifestealer, and the Rage is just enough to survive. But basically 1 hit from death now. And that is looking like it's going to be a bad walk home. Be able to get some more farms. So that is going to put RD2L in pretty good shape to start off this game. Down bot, going to set up the root on Jet Fuel. Crash stepping forward, no fear at all in the middle of that Firestorm. Claire on a good amount of health. They've got an early point in Bloodlust from the Ogre. Help their last hitting, and they're like, when you get to the scrappier parts of the fight of just exchanging auto attacks. Jimmy Pesto looking for more, but stunned up, getting some tower shots, is going to manage to finish off the Ogre Magi, and looks like will survive, taking a couple shots. Oh, get nearby. Pesto just going to deny themselves.
I'll be back for you.
Doesn't want to sit around waiting for regen, just going to kill, isn't giving up. Yeah, Catsby top of the last hit start. Boots in the backpack right now. Gotta get those swapped in. Vicromon just kind of sitting on the edge. I feel like this is, yeah, Snapfire gonna go make a rotation. Feeling like that's the best way to find some early impact in this game. Here comes the first rotation from Firebrock, jumping in immediately onto Jet Fuel Can't Melt Steel Beams. Pointicus here as well. They're able to dodge out towards the back. Jet Fuel is going to slowly burn down here. Crash will pick up the kill. Firebrock sitting low, but it's a Huskar. That is their normal state of being. Mitter Chen making the rotation down here, but obviously not in time to help the Ogre. We'll see if it's enough to divert any of this. Another jump forward, but nice dodge from Claire. Firebrock is actually going to get brought down. Pointic is chasing forward, wants to finish off Mitter Chen, gets thrown back into the tower. Cookie's forward, trying to walk away now. Gonna try to go for the deny, but Claire picks up the kill. So a nice response there from putting the R in RD2L. Mitter Chen able to survive. Just barely surviving, getting denied there as well. And they bring down the Huskar on the first rotation. So only able to get the Ogre Magi or going down. That delays this armlet on the Huskar, which is very significant. That's the first big timing after the ult. So RD2L keeping this early game in check right now. Still keeping things even. Switch over to not buyback. That's about you want net worth. It is Huskar sitting on top. Beastmaster surprisingly in fourth. I mean, obviously it's close between, I hate to put it this way, but all the cores except the Lifestealer. I'm surprised. It looked like the lane was going so well that Catsby doesn't have a little more net worth to there. Probably just the lack of involvement in kills. A little bit of aggression being put on towards Crash. The Fire Blast goes out, but it's going to be an astral step away from Claire. They don't want to get too crazy and dive under towers. We're in the mid lane, dive from Pointicus, but Claire is here. They're going to bring down Firebrock again. Now it starts to get a little scary for Last Hit Enjoyers, because if your Huskar isn't able to get the snowballing start that they're looking for, then that kind of sets up, it brings into question your whole game plan, especially with your carry a bit behind on the farm, going to be looking to play the catch-up game. A Huskar always tends to fall off later in the game. And so if RD2L is able to successfully survive this early game, and again, even just keep it even at this stage, it's going to be troublesome for Last Hit Enjoyers to be able to put up as much of a fight into the mid to later game. Catsby still just working towards the first part of the Magnum Scepter, so not getting super crazy timing on that. Going Power Treads, Mill Talisman, helping get some mana sustain there. Has the Roar available. Claire making the rotation over. There's the Roar onto Vicromon, and Lifestealer is going to get the range off. A little bit of heals, looking for somebody to jump into, but not going to find anybody before getting brought down. Jet Fuel can't melt steel beam. Jet Fuel can't melt steel memes. Making the rotation through the gate helps pick up the kill on the Dark Willow as well. They find two off of that first Roar from Catsby, and they're going to put some pressure onto the tower.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart. Radiant's mid tower's getting the 1-4.
I think there will not be any further defense of the bottom tower for Last Hit Enjoyers. Claire heading back down to bot to farm up. Firebrock has that armlet ready. Looks like maybe making a rotation down towards bot with Focus. Pocket already here, though. Pops the Requiem, pushing Crash back. Claire going to lay in the damage alongside Pocket. There is a Vicromon Lifestealer popping out of the Infested Ancient. Finishes off Pocket, and now heading over towards the Ogre. But big stun up, damage coming out. Vicromon's going to go down again. Firebrock now stepping in, wants to find some return kills here. Leap forward onto Claire. Mortimer's Kisses rain in, and they bring down the SF, followed immediately by the kill on emitter trend. So it's a 2 for 4. Very nice hit for Last Hit Enjoyers. Firebrock getting some more of that Huskar rotation in, and the Snapfire showing the early power. That big damage from Mortimer's Kisses raining down in there to help pick up those last couple kills. Looks like it will be Radiant safe lane tower going down now. Claire TP's in. Still a lot of heroes here. All of them are going to get hit by the Dark Willow ult, veering them all back towards their base. Middertrend is going to be the first to fall. Claire trying to bring down Firebrock with Jet Fuel can't melt steel memes. Armlet toggles going out. Jet Fuel trying to stay alive, going to finally burn down. Remnant stuns up Firebrock, but there's no one left to help. Although Catsby showing up here too. They really want to defend this tower, so Claire's still sticking around. Beastmaster has the Roar available. Here comes Crasheroni with the Fiend's Gate, though. They have a route to stop the TP away. No, Catsby is going to make their escape up through the Twin Gate. Now focusing over to Claire. Astral Step away will be able to get back to safety. So in the end, it's just the two supports of RD2L going down, so not an absolute disaster for them. They're not able to successfully defend their safe lane tower, and that gives the Dire the tower advantage now. Although it looks like RD2L, knowing that Vicromon is playing a bit of a catch-up game here, and having this top tower, pocket farming very aggressively into the Dire jungle. And had a damage amp rune in the pocket. Like that just timed out. See if they look for something to use it on. It looks like it's just going to be farming up some ancient creep. Curious to see is halfway to the Aghanim Scepter is Catsby. I haven't seen any crazy like stacking going on for the Beastmaster. Ideally, again, like you're not necessarily playing this to the exactly to the formula that pros are going to play it. But you typically see a Beastmaster, like, have a bunch of stacks ready to go, so as soon as the Ag's timing comes up, they're ready to farm it up. Midder Trend is going to get brought down, trying to secure some vision. Firebrock looking forward for more, is going to get roared. Here comes Claire with some extra damage. Mortimer's Kisses on top of the Dark Willow, raining down, but now the jump forward onto Pocket, but it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade of the mid laners. Pesto finishes off Pocket, but Firebrock goes down to the Requiem as well. So, in the end, I mean, still a very even game to start things off on. Pretty significant. Actually, Networth Lead now just swinging over towards Last Enjoyers, who find another kill for themselves in the mid lane, picking up the kill on Gatsby. Walking him down with the Dark Willow, showing the big circles of this pairing of heroes coming into play.
They're not killing us.
Jimmy Pesto going to look to make an invade here, scoping out, I think mostly trying to see if there's any big stacks up here, just seeing who's farming. Uses the Shadow Realm to make that move safely. Got some smokes ready, Middertrend or Catsby. Vicromon is nearby. Oh, don't want to go to that wave. Pocket's here too. They spot out the Lifestealer. It looks like able to scurry away to safety. Double Falcon Blade. I mean, I guess he's got the double-ended blade staff, so I guess you need a Falcon Blade. really trying to stock up on that mana regen,
At Radiant's bottom
like,
tower.
really damage, do not see that much. Interested to see how that works out for Claire. And lead into the Desolator next, so it's gonna have quite a bit of bonus damage, like straight damage, to go into the Astral Step and auto attacks. I guess just relying on the spells for farming, which makes sense. Void Spirit farms pretty efficiently with Resonant Pulse to simulate an Astral Step. And that mana also helps with that farming as well. It means you can get away with burning a lot of your spells just to clear through camps. Firebrock farming near Y has a Blink Dagger after the Armlet. Really looking to make some big initiations. Gonna see Claire down here, jumps in with the silence. He's going to get stunned up here, though. Needs to be ready on the Armlet. Claire burning out, but no, Firebrock's going to be the one that goes down. Claire is going to tick out as well, so it'll once again be a 1-for-1 trade. It's not a bad find for Firebrock. Still holding that top net worth place 16.5 minutes into the game. Got the Yasha Kaya finished for Pocket. Looking at a BKB next, not immediately going for the Blink Dagger. You have the Rubik for a small reposition into the Requiem. I'm curious if they'll try to use that on anybody. Seen it a lot with like a pairing with a Tiny for tossbacks into the Requiem, which can be absolutely devastating when done correctly.
Here's what's happening to Dire's bottom tower.
Little bit of a poke coming out from Jimmy Pesto, but TP's coming in on RD2L's side, nothing out of that.
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
It's like Last Enjoyers eyeing up the first Roche. They have a Huskar, so they have the, like, definitely the way forward into an early Roche. Port's sitting around just to babysit in case there's any contention on this. I don't think putting the R and RD2L are necessarily looking to contest this or have in mind that this early Roche might be happening. Cookie well-timed with the Roche back to make sure Firebrock doesn't get brought down. Pocket nearby. This could be interesting with how many RD2L heroes are nearby. If they, like, as soon as this goes down, are they going to look to fight this or just look to get out of the area? Ward goes down. Nice Shadow Realm timing to eat up the stun. Jump forward from Firebrock, silence out onto Pocket, but the Aegis is going to be used immediately with the Roar coming out. They do find the kill onto Pocket, though. 1-for-1 immediately. Early Aegis use. Now looking towards Catsby. Remnant catching Firebrock. Big damage from Claire coming out with the Astral Pulse. Like the Huskar will be able to safely walk away. Overall, not, like, obviously not ideal out of your first Aegis, but not bad either. Like, you're not looking for too much out of the first Aegis. So just getting a kill on an important hero like the Shadow Fiend, pretty good spot to be. Catsby getting controlled up by the supports, damage coming out, Firebrock jumping in as well, finishes off the kill on the Beastmaster. After having such a good lane, I can't believe that Lifestealer is now ahead of the Beastmaster in net worth. Obviously, that last death kind of being what swaps them around. But Catsby had such a good laning phase. I expected that to really snowball for RD2L. Maybe just contending with too much farm and the map feeling a little small with the Huskar problem. They're going to find Crash here. A nice pull forward from the Rubik and jump forward from Claire. Like the rest of Last Enjoyers will expect that kill getting picked up and back out of Radiant side of the map. Teams, Firebrock maybe still hunting for something here. Wants to keep that snowball rolling. They're going to have vision here. Blink forward. Silence on the Void Spirit, but now backing away to simulate out. Armlet toggling, but caught in the Remnant. And then the Roar means they're going to be able to finish off Firebrock. Micromon in the middle of everybody, super tanky, surviving through the Requiem with the Enrage. I'm gonna escape off into point. Get smoked up, split off the farm. Meanwhile, Crash. Oh, Crash. I think had a buyback, Beans Gate, and then the rest of the team wasn't able to stick around to help the fight. That's a tough one. Gonna set the Underlord back a bit. Puts RD2L into a slight net worth lead. Is Pointed Kiss with a cookie. And the Mortimer's Kiss is just gonna find the solo kill on Catsby, who's a little too far up with the amount of health they have. First Crown gonna hit Mitter Shen with the Void Remnant, gonna help them be able to escape safely before Firebrock can life break onto them. Blink Dagger up on the Rubik, going immediately for that Aghanim Scepter, so seeing a lot of high-value spells in this game to steal. I think as a Rubik, you're pretty happy against an Underlord if you just get Pit of Malice Firestorm. Like, I feel like that's almost the most ideal spells to steal. Shadow Realm, obviously nice. If you can get, like, Terrorize, that's a good one. Mortimer's Kisses is a really easy steal. Because she's channeling it, so she can't really cast a different spell to cover it. And the rest of the Snapfire, as long as you get anything but Little Shredder, you're pretty happy with the steal from Snapfire. Void Remnant is going to find Jimmy Pesto. Brambles, trying to get the distance with a cookie. Firebrock now jumping forward, looking to turn around on Jet Fuel Can't Melt Steel memes. What can melt steel memes is Burning Spears, and that is going to melt down Jet Fuel. Bring down the Ogre. Life Stealer hanging out inside the Ice Shaman. Doing some farming is ancient. It looks like maybe Last Enjoyer is eyeing up the Tormentor. Yeah, they'll go right in and start it. Bust out of the Infest, and they'll take that pretty easily. You get the Shard on to Jimmy Pesto.
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
Gives you the Cursed Crown Brambles, and reduces the timing. Jimmy Pesto stepping up ridiculously far. To be able to get the Shadow Realm off again, but still gets caught in the stun, surrounded by 4 heroes, even with the Shielder, and all 5 of them actually. Jimmy Pesto just going to get immediately blown up. I think trying to scout out ahead for Last Enjoyers, but just a little too far out ahead. Now RD2L, knowing they have this advantage with the Dark Willow being down, going to smoke up and look to chase forward. Last Enjoyers know that this is coming and trying to get out of the area, but here comes the Astral Step from Claire. Trying to focus out on a Pointed Kiss. BKB used by Pocket, I believe that's the reveal on that. Doesn't find anything immediately, though. They're able to kite pretty well. I mean, the Blink Daggers, the Cookie, even Pointed Kiss manages to survive there, so a bit of a whiff on, yeah, what was the first BKB usage for Pocket.
Dyer's mid tower's nothing now.
They're working on the Manta style, have that Dispel be a little even more dodgy, and also get those big stat buffs for the Universal Hero. Infested Dragon chasing forward. Claire still going to farm some camps in the area. Jimmy Pesto getting some vision down. Get surrounded now. Life Break out with the Silence. Got the... is that an Ags? No, it's just a separate Root and Circle. Micromon getting stunned up now, but a nice Terrorize, and the Root holding Pocket back. These big circles playing a huge role in Last Enjoyer's team fight as they bring down a 3rd hero. So the combo of the Pit of Malice and the Bramble Maze, it's so difficult to navigate these fights for the side of RD2L. Last Hit Enjoyers now with a
Here's what's
4K
happening
net
in
worth
the
lead in
dire
what's
bottom
been
tower.
obviously a very close back and forth game. Like, this graph looks absurd, but there's just never been a big lead for either side. I think this is the biggest lead we've had so far. Yeah. That early Roche taken means that the Roche spawn for the second one is coming up pretty soon. Now in 10 seconds, just how soon that will be. Ag's done on Fire proc nice and early. So that's the taunt on Life Break, which is Fire proc. A hunt for something. Gonna see Pocket. Back goes out. Cancels the Blink Dagger. Mid or 10 there as well. Fire Rock will be able to blink away safely. See the infested dinosaur. Mid or 10 just gonna TP away from it. Not interested in dealing with the Life Stealer. The rest of RD2L already backing away. Pokemon has really been enjoying hanging out in Ancient Creeps. Now it's going to pop out of the Infest. And Crash, Invis, going to find the catch onto Catsby. Roar goes out on Vicromon, but Kiss is raining in. Nice Requiem, but Catsby's going to be the first to fall. Pocket and Claire now looking to get over towards the backline, trying to find Point to Kiss. Fire Rock's there. With the Life Break, with that taunt, and they're going to bring down Claire very quickly. Pocket now in the middle of everybody, and nobody left to help. So 3 kills, all 3 cores brought down by Last Enjoyers. Now they're starting to run away with this game. Vicromon from such a tough laning stage to now top of the net worth of the cores. An amazing comeback from Vicromon. It's really just using the Radiance and, like, infesting Ancient Creeps to their advantage, clearly knowing how to play a good recovery game on this hero, because it was looking rough early on, and now you wouldn't even know. Now, RD2L will need to
Radiant's top towers.
mounting their defense as the Snapfire passing Catsby's Beastmaster and net worth Reeves' Force Staff. I think Catsby's just been having the tough luck of going down early in a lot of these fights. As the Ags are now going to get taunted up with the Life Break. Controlled up, brought down. Jet Fuel can't melt steel memes, trying to help out Beastmaster, but ends up just falling by the wayside as well.
Someone took
Rotron spawn coming up. Oh, this could be a very funny timing. They're going to check it. It's not going to be up yet. Point to Kiss. Checks. Not up. Check again. Okay, now it's up. Does a good job sticking around. This should be second Rotron going to Last Enjoyers. Fire Rock making their way over to help out with it. The Roar goes out. But I don't think Pudding is feeling in a comfortable spot to contest it. Doesn't look like they have any interest in it. Just using the time where they know the map's a little safer to go out and get some farm out. See if they put this Aegis. I think it is going to go to Vicromon. No, it's going to go to Fire Rock. Vicromon picks up the banner.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business. The Dire gave up bottom tower.
Down bot, Claire, dodging traffic a little bit. Fire Rock clearing out the illusions. Maybe he was hoping one of those was the kill one, but Claire's long. Vic finding another Ancient Creep. They go so fast. Basically hasted. Kinda crazy. 2 of RD2L around here. They didn't give the Aegis to the Lifestealer. It doesn't look like they're going to try to make a play on this. Midderchen stealing Firestorm. Again, one of the best spells they can get in this game. Bloodlust on the tower to try to help it defend itself a little better, but it is going to get brought down.
Radiant lost one of them bottom towers.
Last Hidden Enjoyers using this Aegis to open up the map for themselves quite a bit more. 1 tier 2 tower remaining on the Radiant side. Got good vision control. I don't see this ward, like just outside the sentries. Got this here. Claire is going to get spotted out, but a nice astral step away. Oh, big catch from Crasheroni with the Ags. From the Fiend's Gate, going to force out the BKB from Pocket. Meanwhile, Claire escaping up here. Catsby getting out as well. Looks like Claire able to TP out. So a nice escape from RD2L. Really looked like they were going to be in danger, but able to get out on all their heroes. Just cost them a BKB usage, but depending on how long this damage hampering lasts, getting that damage hampering can be a fight swinger here. We'll see if they are able to make use of it now that they don't have BKB available.
My path leads to riches.
Looks like Last Hidden Enjoyer is going to set their sights on the last of the tier 2 towers. Doesn't look like Pudding will have any intent to defend it. 2 minutes left on the Aegis. See if they go for a bit of a high ground push here. Vikramon once again in an Ancient Creep. This time the Golem. Let's do 82 damage. Definitely less damage than you would do if you weren't an Ancient Creep. The like extra health bar is nice. Jumping in now with the Life Break, Fire Brock, and bring down Midderchen. Does get stunned up. Has a minute left on the Aegis. Jimmy Pesto going to go down as well. Pocket throwing out the Requiem. That's going to be the first life of the Huskar. Meanwhile, the tower goes down. Vikramon focusing down the buildings. Root up. Nice Remnant into the Root. Fire Brock has to be careful here. It's going to get brought down a second time. The barracks will fall, but RD2L here have a chance to chase forward a bit more. Crash making sure the barracks get finished off. Be the one who kind of gets left behind here as the Snapfire TP's out. Bring down Crasheroni. So the barracks do not come without cost. I don't think they mind giving up the kills too badly there. But it is an avenue for RD2L to bounce back into this game as they get a big XP swing, get a little bit of gold back. Guessing this Ogre Axe is for a BKB. It is ready to go for Claire. Between that and the Manta, going to be very hard to control the Void Spirit.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Claire throws out the Remnant Astral Step across Jimmy Pesto. Yules dodge away for now. The throw forward from Midderchen to get the stun onto Jimmy Pesto. Four comes out as Vikramon shows up. Catsby gonna have to back away, but immediately they ult Pocket from the high ground though, pushing Crash back so they don't get a bunch of damage into the initiation from Crasheroni, and the Underlord is gonna go down. Infest now with the Ags onto Claire, feared up as well from the Terrorize, and they're going to blow up the Void Spirit. Ogre Magi getting brought down in the meantime as well. Pocket gonna go for the Nightfall and able to escape. Ends up being, I guess, a 2-for-2 with the Dark Willow buyback. Once again, RD2L still keeping this game interesting. It's definitely not, like, done and dusted for Last Hidden Enjoyers. They're gonna come out of the fight a little more comfortable on the map. Just still having a bit of a lead and then having that buyback from the Dark Willow, so that's going to give them the opportunity to pick up the Tormentor. It gives the Shard to the Huskar. Makes Inner Fire slow and heal. Add that on top of the Silence. They have the scan, they know Catsby's here, the Brambles don't quite find Catsby. Beastmaster will be able to sneak away. But the Aghanim Scepter finished on Snapfire. Claire gonna jump forward, haunted up by the Life Break, but there's the Roar in response. Can they bring down Firebrock here? As the BKB going, Catsby infested into. Still trying to find the damage onto Firebrock, but it's not going to be enough. Crasheroni once again coming in with the big circle. That Ags on the Beans Gate has just been super clutch from Crasheroni time and time again. Ends up being just the Beastmaster that falls in that fight that RD2L initiated. At least got out on Claire. We get the banner drop. Remnant, though, jump forward as well. Vickermon has to be a bit careful. Firebrock in, getting low right away. And not that the Huskar necessarily minds. Magi trying to survive. Got to be careful of the Brambles. The Pocket might have even been helping clear some of those out to make sure the Ogre could get safely. So no lives lost there. Vickermon is quite low. They'll bring down the banner, but it's a dangerous spot. But they're able to burst down Firebrock. Infest on to Claire is going to be just enough. Trying to dodge through it with the Dissimulate, but now Vickermon out in no man's land going to get brought down. Catsby respawning. It looks like they're going to chase for more here with the Lifestealer finally brought down. Looking for Pointicus. Catch from Mitterchen. Giant. That's got to be the Stolen Pit of Malice, right? Yeah, this is exactly what I said before. I feel like this is ideal spell setup, is just become Underlord. Just be Underlord, but better. Pit of Malice, Firestorm. Got... Getting all the AoE from... That's also part of Aghanim Scepter. That's crazy.
The dire best do something.
I'm trying to figure out why that Pit of Malice seems so huge. Ah, that's why, because it is the facet. Yeah, the facet with the AoE. Okay, that's what it was. I felt like Rubik had it, but I didn't see it right away. Catsby in a bit of a tricky position. Gonna try to BKB and get out of here, but just completely locked in. Even with the trees gone, the creeps blocking the way, and they're gonna find the kill on the Beastmaster. Interesting SF going Crit Satanic after the Kayayasha. Like, kind of almost giving up on the caster build and going back into a right-click build. Maybe just finding kind of what I was expecting out of the draft, that with, like, a Lifestealer Underlord, you're just dealing with such tanky heroes that I don't know if a magic damage SF would have cut it. And, like, you don't have the opportunity to get Desolator, but you have a Desolator on the team. And as long as Claire has hit your target recently, then it's like you have a Desolator for free. Last Enjoyers are going to look to pick up the third Roche, which must have been a pretty quick spawn. I did not notice that happening. And it looks like, once again, RD2L content to let them have this. They are going to find Crasheroni over in the jungle. Good target to find, because this guy's kind of been playing this like a Dawnbreaker. Just always ready to respond with the global jump from the ult at any time that a fight breaks out. It is a pretty good target to find, but it looks like they will not feel that they have the damage to bring down the very tanky Underlord. So Last Enjoyers get the Aegis unpunished. Catsby get found here down in the bottom lane, pops the BKB, is going to get infested into, bashed from the inside. Now the jump out. Mortimer's Kiss is raining in. Catsby, I think, is going to be able to walk this one off. Claire TPing into danger. Firebrock immediately with the life break, but now the turnaround, the roar, they pop the Aegis immediately. Being terrorized from the Dark Willow is going to allow Catsby to get brought down. Immediate buyback from the Beastmaster. Firebrock on the second life, uses the cheese as well. Another infest now into pocket. And controlled up on the Shadow Fiend, bursts out of the infest, gets brought down, but a huge burst of damage coming through from Claire. Gonna bring them low, but they're not gonna have any further follow-up from that. Does force Last Enjoyers out of the base, though, and that means that their high ground will not be further threatened here with the Aegis expended. Maybe looking for more here, though. Vickermon's still sitting low. They're chasing forward, gonna Yule or Manta off the first crown, but still getting caught in some brambles on the way out. And the stupid circles. Ooh, a stolen Fiend's Gate from Mitterchen as well, and has the Ags. This is going to be something to watch out for. It looks like they have it for quite a bit longer as well. This could really change the dynamics of some of the fights, especially with how big those AoEs have been.
I restore my connection to the void.
14k net worth lead for the side of Last Enjoyers, but this game, I think, feeling more even than the graph shows you. I would give RD2L a pretty, like, definitely more than 11.
Dyer's mid tower could use a little help.
Claire gonna sense the danger incoming, sees the TP from Firebrock as well. He'll step away. And should be a-okay to get out of there. I mean, Pesto looking to get some vision up, but is under vision. Mitterchen going to get the stun up. Able to get into the Shadow Realm and blink away. This is, I mean, 44 minutes in. This is a pretty farmed Dark Willow. Blink Boots of Bearing, Lotus, Duels is a pretty hefty inventory. Now looking over towards Claire, but again, very dodgy hero. Gets the Mortimer's Kisses out of Point Kiss. Thought there might have been a little more control to hold that Void Spirit in place. Firestorm Pit of Malice. So actually giving up the Fiend's Gate. I'm a little surprised by that. I feel like they could have made a pretty cool play with that. Smoke up. They're gonna find Firebrock. Roared immediately. Can they burst him down? They do. The Primal Roar. All the stun they need to secure a very important kill on the Huskar. Now RD2L on the hunt a bit. Or at least just enjoying getting out back onto the map. Finding some farm. Feeling safe for a while that Huskar is dead. How many Blink Daggers in the game? Rubik and Catsby. And then Snap, Huskar, Willow. I guess it's like that's a fairly normal amount of Blink Daggers. 5 out of 10 heroes is like only slightly higher than normal, but it's heroes you don't always see a Blink Dagger on, which I think is interesting. I almost wouldn't mind seeing the Lifestealer add one, just to have a way to, like, stay in step with the rest of the team, who all have big jumps forward. You gotta swap this Yasha in for the Roshan Spinner. You shouldn't even be the one to have to carry this Roshan Spinner. The attack speed from Yasha, like, even just a plain Yasha, that is significant. Crash working on the Gleipnir, looking to try to match the AoE of the Stolen Circle. Expand that bit of Malice out even more. Is mid lane, Jimmy Pesto, noticing off some of the initiation, gets brought back in by the Void Remnant, and will die to the Firestorm stolen by the Rubik. Now, once again, a smoke up off of that kill. I think they'll mostly just be looking to push forward, though. Meanwhile, Last Enjoyer is going to pick up yet another Tormentor. This one goes to Lifestealer, adding that Open Wounds debuff onto the Infest Explosion. Could have a bit of a collision here. They're going to spot out Pocket and jump in with the Fiend's Gate, and with the control there, there's no way out for the Shadow Fiend, so quick pick off for the side of Last Enjoyers means that RD2L are going to be back into defense mode. You have the buyback available on the Shadow Fiend.
Go for my master.
They would love to avoid using that if they can. See how aggressive side of Last Enjoyers looks to play here. With the Shadow Fiend down. It looks like with this wave pushing in, they might try to take a stab at some high ground once again. See if they can bring down the bottom tower, maybe some barracks. 50 seconds without the Shadow Fiend if they choose not to buy back. You're going to get the Roshan's Banner used. Nullifier available now, so that Yasha actually got sold by Vectormon. Shadow Fiend is going to buy back for the defense here. Catsby going to pop the BKB, turn around. Can they blow up Firebrock with the Primal Roar? Once again, they do. So immediate payoff for that buyback. Oh, Mittertrend with the catch onto Vectormon. This could be a big one. Stun up in the Astral Remnant. And they bring down the Lifestealer. That is a huge catch to find on the backside of it. It's like that RD2L answering back with a big defense, keeping this game close. And now Dota Plus. This is about how I felt about the game when it was back here. Like, much closer to 75-25. A minute and a half on the Roche respawn, so little on the longer side, because that timer has been ticking for a little bit already. It looks like, seeing that that is down, they're going to buyback check Last Enjoyers, and they do not have buybacks on either of these heroes. So RD2L, they're going to find that it is a 5v3 for the next 20 seconds, and then a 5v4 for 20 more seconds after that. Terrorize is going to come out, sidestepped by everybody but the Shadow Fiend. Player jumping in, then moving over towards another tier 3 tower. Remnant going to stun up Pointicus, kind of toying around with the supports here. Now Pocket making a rotation over to start getting that tower damage down. I mean, the Deso, full 30 charges on the Desolator,
The dire best
plus the presence of the Dark Lord on Pocket. The armor reduction is pretty big. Now, with the, the second, what do you call it? Second Fortify, there we go, from the melee barracks going down. Doesn't mean that they won't lose more than just that mid-tower and melee barracks. And now the smoke up from Last Enjoyers. And Crasheroni farming down here, out the team while they're smoking up. To make this a little trickier, although they do have buyback available on Crasheroni and has the Fiend's Gate ready to go. So can join this fight at moment's notice. The Roshan is spawned. Pocket. Gonna get seen in the smoke, walking into 3 heroes. Mortimer's Kisses comes out immediately, not able to get off anything. And now there's the buyback. The Pit of Malice from the Fiend's Gate from Crasheroni controls up. They bring down Jet Fuel. Cats feel him to escape. Tail end of the route, but the BKB giving them enough protection to be able to blink away. Still chasing forward towards the Beastmaster. Looks like Catsby is going to get caught here. That's 2 minutes, no buyback for the Beastmaster, and 100 seconds left. No buyback available for the Shadow Fiend either. Jet Fuel has buyback, but this one they know is a 5v3 for sure. For Last Enjoyers. Like, they gotta go fix their waves, so that will cut into some of RD2L's time to be able to respawn, and the buyback cooldown is now back up for Catsby. That will help them out as well. Scan is there. Meanwhile, Claire, pushing down mid lane, finds Jimmy Pesto. So he's just gonna say, yeah, you can have Roche. I'm gonna go get some barracks. I deal way more damage to buildings than you expect a Void Spirit to deal. Going to Kiss will make the TP over, and that will discourage Claire from being able to push. Meanwhile, the rest of Last Enjoyers will collect their goodies from the 4th Roshan of the game. That's going to give them a pretty big advantage going into the next fight, but it does mean that they don't get as much out of the death timer of the Shadow Fiend coming off of buyback. It's like by the time they're actually hitting high ground, the Shadow Fiend will just about be alive again. It'll be a little longer without the Beastmaster, but and buyback if absolutely necessary. Certainly is going to be looking to hold it at this point. It looks like even with the Aegis, I mean, not that there's a need to go high ground immediately, and they know they've gotten a bit punished going high ground previously, so we're going to play this nice and slow. Smoke up now for 4 of the side of RD2L. Kind of making an early move, maybe looking to catch somebody off guard. Expecting somebody to be farming down here, but they're all crowded up in mid lane, sticking together for Last Enjoyers. Back to a 5-on-5. I think I was calling it a 5-on-4 before, which was inaccurate. I forgot that the Dark Willow. They won't end up finding anything with the smoke. Now it's just a matter of keeping waves pushed out, which they do quite well. Got Scythe of Vice on the Snapfire. I'm just still had her select. That is a scary proposition for these cores of RD2L. More armor reduction with the Assault Cuirass. Definitely leaning all in on that direction. Butterfly finished for Pocket's Shadow Fiend. At some point, do you, like, disassemble this Yasha and Kaya and turn it into a Manta or a, like, SNY? Because you are not playing around that at all anymore. As up into the high ground, control up, and they bring down Fire Brock. Just barely going to survive, but now finally goes down. Mortimer's Kiss is raining in. I think getting caught up in the Kate Catsby ends up on the other side, rooted up, may escape this way. No, is going to go down. Necromon kind of left alone here, but still has the Aegis to work with and is not seeming to mind this too much. Satanic used by Pocket to heal back up, but so much damage coming out on top of these heroes. 3 dead without buyback. It's just Catsby and Mittertrend left to defend. Necromon explodes out of the Beastmaster, who is nullified. Mittertrend throws them safely back up into the fountain. But can you defend 2v3 here? Crasheroni is going to go down to their own spell stolen by the Rubik. Necromon getting a little low as well, and does not have the Aegis left to work with anymore. Axes come out, and Mittertrend blinks forward, finds the kill. They defend 2v3. It's just the Lifestealer left on Last Hidden Enjoyers. And with all of that fighting, they just get a tower and a barracks. They don't get that much building damage, and they lose a barracks of their own to the creep wave pushing through in the meantime, because they haven't taken the mid barracks, and that is the lane that they had already pushed on RD2L. So that looked like a game-winning fight, but a crazy defense from the last 2 remaining heroes on RD2L keeps this game going, and probably going to push it to the 60-minute mark now. Game has been an absolute wild back and forth. I mean, it's like, it almost feels unfair to call it a back and forth, because it's been definitively a Last Hidden Enjoyers lead for the last half an hour. And yet RD2L continues to, like, even losing some fights, they're finding winning fights as well. They're still putting it together and just putting together some crazy performances on these heroes. But Octarine Core Kaya now on the Rubik. So, every time I check, it's just these 2 spells. Full Kaya Yasha for the Rubik. I'm really curious what Pocket is going to buy next with the inventory pretty full. Maybe we'll just, like, finish off the Boots of Travel into another level. I imagine this Yasha Kaya is going to get changed. Refresher Orb finished for Catsby. 2nd Primal Roar available now. That Primal Roar has been a huge game changer in so many of these fights. Because Last Hidden Enjoyers are pretty reliant on their BKBs. And, like, getting that initial jump with, like, the Life Break, or, like, the Lifestealer back in the Ancient Creep shenanigans now. Like, the Lifestealer relying on the Rage. As, don't they have all of their shards? They do, so just going for the gold. I mean, it's a thing you can do. It's not a small amount of gold. Not a Ogre has been the big sacrificial guy for RD2L. 60 minutes Solar Crest, Glimmercape, Force Staff is... That's tough. I respect no Midas on this hero. Especially with the Nullifier already built for the Lifestealer, who is inside Huskar for the moment as they smoke up. Like, this inventory feels tough into a Nullifier. Rubik we saw has the Arcane Blink now. It's what? I would say, okay, I knew Mittertrend had a lot of net worth after the, like, crazy defense. I did not notice that this Rubik, this position 4 Rubik, is 2nd highest net worth in the game. Huh?
You know the drill.
Gleipnir Gem as well. Lord. Basher crit for the Void Spirit. Let's pocket when we're... Just a refresher orb queued up. Probably more for the BKB than the Requiem. Obviously, the Refresh Requiem is good too. What do you like? You must be dropping the Yashikaya for a refresher. The Refresher Satanic is also really nice. And maybe like backpack the boots for the refresher. I don't know. Strength blink on Vic. Sitting on the tier 5 item choice. Surely you go Stygian. Yeah. Oh, and a Stygian for pocket. Okay. This... Like, do you really want Refresher now? Get, like, turn this into a Manta. Like, obviously the Refresh BKB Satanic is nice, but, like...
Might want to mine the top tower.
And Crude? For the lower bat? This guy, like, they're not ready for how much damage this guy's gonna beat down. Spider Legs on Claire, so probably didn't get a ton of great options. BKB, they look for the jump, but... Oh, Infested! Dissimulate survives for now, dodging through the trees with the Spider Legs! Forget what I said, it's the best tier 5 item to give it. Oh, but... TP, what happened? Life Break Taunt. The Life Break Taunt. At the last possible second on that TP. That's a huge kill and doesn't have buyback available. 40 seconds until it's back up. So we'll have it before they respawn, but... And I'm guessing Last Enjoyers are going to play around it like they have it up, because, like, yeah, that's a hard one to crack. I'm going to stick with the Giant's Maul and just take Evolve on Fire Brock. I honestly don't mind that. Book of the Dead on Jimmy Pesto. We've got Zune Bloodright Timeless on Underlord is insane. Look at this pit. This pit, when I'm like normally zoomed in, this pit is almost the entire screen. Like it goes from HUD to HUD. And then Fallen Sky on Snapfire isn't. Backpacking the Blink for now. Refresher Shard. They're sitting on 2 Refresher Shards on. They jump in. They find the Rubik. Mater Chen gonna get blown up right away. Buyback immediately. 10 seconds until the Void Spirit's back up. Pocket gonna get popped as well. Has the buyback available there too. Get our buyback status going, because that's more important than net worth now. Here's the buyback from Pocket. Be forced to commit it. Last Enjoyers taking their time. Does it say Stolen Fiend's Gate? It is. Why doesn't that get a Pit of Malice? Oh, because you have to also have Stolen Pit of Malice to get the Pit of... Can't cast a spell you don't have. We're actually backing up all the way to their side of the map. Like, there's respecting the buybacks, but I feel like you could still be threatening high ground here. Still have an Aegis. You've got a Cheese. You've got Air Pressure Shard. You've got Block of Cheese, in fact, on the Huskar. That's an Assault Kuros of their own. In the process of looking at tier 5 items. Okay, so everybody's over there. Got the Minotaur Horn, so another mini BKB for Catsby. The Stygian we talked about in excess. Spider Legs with Boundless is very nice for jet fuel. Disgraced Regalia. Spider Chen went greedy, got punished. Saw the Spider Legs on Claire. Infested in Firebrock. Field Rune wearing out, has the blockage feat ready to go. $6,000 HP for this hub. It costs 1,000 health. But heals that health back.
The Dire might want to mine their top
Last
towers,
Enjoyers,
top
I'm
towers,
surprised that they're... Like, I get it. The high ground fights have been hard. RD2L are keeping this game going. I mean, 32K... I was going to say close. 32K net worth lead feels a little unfair to say they're keeping this game close, but they're certainly not, like, it is not 31K worth of they are guaranteed to win the game. The defenses have been... So I understand their respect on the defense,
Mid-rags ain't looking so hot.
but, like...
Radiant's mid-rags didn't make it.
Okay, they are threatening it now. Up. They use the stolen Fiend's Gate and find a kill on Crasheroni. The Underlord lying in wait. I'm sad that I missed that full play happening. The catch... No, the throw in... Trying to make a play happen, but it completely backfires on them. Fire Rock gets blown up immediately. Aegis used on Vicromon, going to try to push through and get the barracks, but now the second roar off of the refresh. They bring down Vicromon as well. They do secure the Mega Creeps with that, but at the cost of 4 heroes, including the Aegis. Only Pointicus going to survive. They have buybacks available on the entire team. This becomes an interesting situation here. RD2L are going to buyback check them and are going to quickly find out that the buybacks are there. But these towers, like, they have to be careful how they play this. They... I think...
Dire's mid-tower.
Don't know if they have a Fortify available. Okay, they do. They're going to use it. Or they use any buybacks. There's the first buyback. I was wondering how long they were going to try to, like, bait them, but I think you gotta know that those buybacks are there. Crasher only going to probably try to hold on to this. They find a jump in forward from Crash. There's the full buybacks from the Dire side. Immediate jump in with the Fiend's Gate, finding the damage out onto Pocket. Pocket is going to fall. Claire somehow able to escape, then the control is up onto the Beastmaster. Finding heroes who have already spent their buybacks on the Radiant side. So now the defense becomes much harder as they kill everybody but the Rubik. And 2 of those heroes had already used their buybacks. So it's going to be a 3v5 defense. But they've done a underhanded defense before. They can make some magic happen again. All of the buybacks were used on the Dire side. All of the buybacks were used on every side. This is going to be the final fight, one way or another. Win this fight, you win the game. Firebrock jumping forward onto Midderchen, trying to survive, but going to get blown up. So down to 2 heroes left for RD2L. Now Vicromon focusing over onto the buildings. The circles are just too big. How do you even find a path forward to try to defend? The damage now onto the Ancient. It's just too much, too fast. And Last Hit Enjoyers, a nice 69 minutes into the game, finally are able to close it out, push up high ground, take the Ancient, and win the game. Oh boy! That was an absolute hell of a game. I mean, this graph looks like, oh yeah, like, even game to start out. Last Hidden Joyers get a win, and then they just like slowly make their way to victory. Like you lose because of how the gold swings at the end. You lose like how stagnated the game was. I don't want to say stagnated. There were tons of fights happening. It was like a constant action game. But like how much they were able to hold out here and how close this game really was. Like you see the swing back here where they almost are able to make it happen and bring it back the other way. In the end, it's just not enough. Last Enjoyers are finally able to close it out. Well, that was an incredible game. I'm not even going to begin to try to assign an MVP or most valuable support, because that game cannot happen the way it did without everybody playing at an exceptional level. So I'm going to cop out a little bit. But if you enjoyed that game, which if you didn't, what's wrong with you? Good news, we have another game coming up for you. So we'll be back soon. I'm sure these players are going to need a bit of a break after a game that crazy and that long. I certainly need to step away for a minute. So we will be back soon with game number 2. So please stay tuned, because after that one, I can't imagine the next one being a bad time. Let's check it out soon. So, I realized I never muted when I went to break. I don't think I should. So, unfortunate news. Jimmy Pesto, who was standing in for Last Hidden Enjoyers, was not able to stick around for game 2, and they were not able to find a different stand-in for game. So the Last Enjoyers have decided to forfeit game 2. They didn't want to make RD2L sit and wait around for for them to find another stand-in. There was a bit of a wait before the first game too, because they were scrambling to find somebody. So it's going to be a 1-1 series. Unfortunate that we don't get another game between these teams just yet. Would not be surprised at all to see them match up against each other in the finals, or at some point in the playoffs, I should say. Maybe the finals, who knows? Yeah, so that's gonna do it for us. Unfortunately, just gonna be the one game today. I feel bad because I feel like I really hyped up there being a second game between these teams going to the break, but unfortunately, that's gonna do it for us. We'll see. It means these teams will go in 1, so Last Enjoyers will finish group stage 5 and 5. RD2L will go to 6 and 4. That means Mud Boys have secured the number 1 seed. They're playing against Drip now. I'm not going to be able to hop over and cast that game because I got to get myself some. I was expecting somebody else to be casting it, trade them, but it looks like Font Forward is actually playing. Yes, but he's also on their roster. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to stick around to try to cast that series instead. Tempting. Could no, because I think they're only in game 1. I don't have the time. But check it out on Dota TV. Maybe I'll retrocast that one because I love watching Mud Boys and playing against them for quite a while. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for more series. Keep an eye on the Discord. Always a good time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how this group stage wraps up. We've got a couple more weeks because the other division is bigger, so they've got a few more games to play. There might be some special games for the upper division in the meantime, and then we're going to plan to start both of the brackets at the same time. So that'll be happening a couple weeks from now. Should be fun. Definitely looking forward to it. Definitely check out other games happening, and thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great rest of your day.